What's good, everybody? Welcome to the video. Today is episode 2 of our beginner's adventure in Etheria Restart, and we have a whole lot to talk about. I don't want to waste no time. Let's talk about our first goal in Etheria Restart, which is, to complete Terramaton, right? There are a few things that we had to get done, right? One of them is to get a team for Terramaton and then start grinding that team out, farming some modules, all that stuff. And it wasn't too hard to start doing that. I mean, we did take pretty much a different content creators team. I mean, he made a whole video about Terramaton. I'll put it up on screen here. But he has a team in there that I just pretty much copy pasted, with the exemption of one unit. But by the end of episode 1, I mean, I wasn't completely sure on a few units. I just wanted to see if I had better units, which I said I would do off screen, and I did. And while there were some units like number 41 that I wasn't sure of, I wanted to see if I had better units for. There was only like one unit that I think I've replaced. So let's just get through to the team. Let's talk about the team. Obviously, Leanne is the main DPS. This is obviously going to stay the same. I'm still working on her. I want to start getting her better modules, but that is something that I'm going to start doing on the side. We'll talk about modules in a second. But the most important thing for her is to get her skill 2 up all the way. So I'm going to need 3 of these SSR lattices, perfect lattice, but I'll just say SSR skill ups, because for one, I mean, you're talking about 12% crit rate just from this alone, and you're talking about more damage. Plus, you're getting the skill 2 off far more often. Getting this every 3 turns will be a really big deal. I was working on skill 3, which was probably like my first mistake. I should have probably saved my skill ups for skill 2. For her skill 2 and then started working on her skill 3, but it is what it is. I don't entirely regret it because she does do a great amount of damage. We're going to get to watch her do a run, but overall that's kind of what she looks like here. I am working on her shell. Like I still need to farm more for shell, but this is kind of what I want her to look like an attack percent here. I might switch them to HP percents just for survivability, but I think the attack is probably the best thing here. I want to grind that out eventually for crit rate, like a better crit rate. And this one I just unlocked like the thing. I'm trying to get the one that gives good reason damage, which I haven't been able to get. And we have that right now, but I doubt I'm going to get a purple one. Yeah, no. So I mean, we just got a little bit better of a shell, but this is what she looks like. Gray was another one. He's also the best unit I think you could have for your first Terramaton team. I mean, he gives crit rate buff every 3 turns, and then he AoE defense breaks every 3 turns with a 100% chance if he inflicts a critical hit. This is fully skilled up, which we will get into skill ups in a little bit. The next unit was Dina. Dina was another unit. She kind of moves right after Gray, and if Gray misses his defense breaks, she can apply defense breaks, or she can place vulnerable or erosion, which both of those help with the damage that we deal. She is a very vital part of the team, in my opinion. She's allowing me on right now. Like, I'm able to do Terramaton Nightmare. Leon, I've seen her do upwards of 20k damage, which I don't know if you want to say that's super great or super bad. But it's like, to me, it's super great, and she doesn't require too many skill ups. I mean, I've went straight for her skill 3, but we'll talk about that later. The next unit is number 41. She was meant to be a support. She is meant to be a support. She's mainly here for her skill 3, which boosts the turn meter of everyone by 20% and gives a 2-turn attack buff when fully skilled up. You want her skilled up, obviously, because before skill ups, this is every 5 turns. So she really needs skill ups. But she's really simple to build, and I think that she probably is the best choice for beginners because of like resources. Like, think about who you have on your team. You have Leon, which is an SSR, and then you have Gray, Dorothy, if you're following his guide, and Dina, which are three SSRs. Or SRs, my bad. They're 3 SRs. All of them, for their skill ups, require the same lattice. Her, though, you can give her a different type of lattice. Like you'll see here, like I have these micro lattices. These are for the blue units, right? The rare units. She's going to be the only one that uses them, so it's going to be easy to get her skill ups done. All you need to do is farm the prowess material. So I think it's probably better to have her than another SSR or another SR. It's just it would take so much longer for you to get your team up if you just throw in another SSR or whatever into the team. But the last unit was Dorothy, right? I mean, this is who he suggests, and Dorothy is a good unit. Me personally, though, I figured that it's probably better to have Sonya. The reason I think it's probably better to have Sonya is, one, I think Sonya has more survivability because of the way you build her. For Dorothy, it's like her heals are based off of her attack, which means you have to start allocating some of your stats. You have to allocate even like a module or two to make sure that she has a good amount of attack because you want a good amount of heals. For Sonya, she just needs HP. You obviously want her on as much HP as possible. So the more she's able to survive, the more HP she has, the more her heals are, and the easier it is for her to survive a lot of these boss fights. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason was because of the AoE heal here. While 230% attack looks good, this is going to be every 3 turns when fully skilled up, right? 250% of her attack every 3 turns. Casket Remedy, at its best, will heal for 100% of her attack, which I think, like, even in the best of lights, let's say you could get her to like 3k HP or attack, total attack. It's just like, that'd be like 7k, right? 7k on her skill 3 for the initial heal. But then you're talking about here, that'd be the 3k, right? That'd be 3k heal every time an ally takes a turn. Well, my Sonya, at this current point in time, actually, no, not at this current point in time. I haven't looked at her yet, and because it's been a second. But when I was looking at her earlier this morning, which she was level like 40 this morning, she was healing for 4.8k on average. So she was already healing more. Like, she had a better healing average than Dorothy, right? Because I don't really care about first turn. I mean, I kind of do, but even then, like, first turn potential, Sonya's better, right? Think about what both of these units do on their first turn. She places Casket Remedy. The heal means nothing. It doesn't necessarily mean nothing, at least. But Casket Remedy, which will allow excess healing to be converted into a shield. But she's not going to be faster than the rest of your units. So the rest of your units are actually not going to benefit off of Casket Remedy's shield. They'll benefit off of the 100% of Dorothy's attack healing when they take their next turn, because by that time they will have taken damage. But Sonya has a better one turn than Dorothy because of the all-powerful protection buff that she applies on all units permanently whenever she uses her third skill, which increases everyone's max HP by 16%. So there's more survivability for the entire team. On top of that, you're getting consistent healing based off of her max HP off of her passive, which, like I just said before, I'll test it out again in a second. We'll get to see it in a second. Before all this, like, she was doing 4.8k versus Dorothy. At this current moment, she would not hit 3k. I don't think she would hit 3k or 3k like passive, right? She would hit way below that, like 1 or 2k at best. So Sonya probably has double the healing. And the worse the situation is for Sonya, the less HP she has, she deals extra. She has a better healing bonus. I just think that Sonya in general is better, and she's very easy to build. I mean, look at how much HP she has. I think, like, the best build for her will probably be like either going all Swift, or you can go like a mixture, like what I did with like Swift Rush, Cure, and Wellspring. But like, mix those up to get her a ton of HP and help her heal and just move fast. Tons of effect resistance and tons of HP, whether it be bonus or flat in the substats. But that's kind of like the team I worked on. I want to show you guys a run. I think that'll be the best thing for me to do right now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to try Terramaton Nightmare 1. Already behind the scenes, I've tried Nightmare 2 to see if I could do it. I can beat it, but I barely beat it. So to be able to, like, we can 3-star Nightmare 1, but we just can't 3-star Nightmare 2. It's a thing with Gray's survivability, which that'll be fixed in time, but it's just, as of right now, this is what it is. But I'll explain kind of how this team works in case you guys didn't watch the other guy's video, which I recommend you do. What happens is I have everyone in turn order. So if you look on the left, you see like all their like pictures and all that stuff. By the way, check out her damage. Yeah, not bad. Number 141 will go first, and what she'll do is she'll use her skill 3, which grants everybody an attack buff, and then increases their turn meter by 20%, which pushes everyone to the front. So it'll be a nice, clean rotation, right, with no interruptions. At least the first time. Gray will then come in, use his second skill, give everyone a crit rate buff, and then use his third skill to place a defense break on everybody. Most of the time it lands on everybody, but sometimes it doesn't. That's where Dina comes in. Dina will come in, and she has a third skill that is a multi-hit that also places defense breaks. The good thing about her third skill is if the enemy already has a defense break, she will place either vulnerable or erosion, dependent on which debuffs the boss has. Both of those debuffs allow us to deal even more damage, which we'll do another run of this just so you guys can see. But after, come on, no, we can't. After Dina, because I've been farming all day, dude. After Dina, Sonya will come in. She'll use her third skill. She will increase the max HP of one of our units by 16%. Giving us more survivability. Hopefully she either gives it to Dina or Gray, which I believe she has every single time I've seen her. And then after that, Leanne comes in, and remember, Leanne has a crit rate buff, she has an attack buff, and the enemy has a defense break, vulnerable most of the time, and sometimes even erosion, which that's just so much damage. I mean, I've seen her do literally, on average, around 20,000+ damage. I think the highest I've ever seen it was about 48,000 damage, which I know you're like, that's a wide range, but the last time I like earlier this morning when I tried it, like she was doing way less than that. Like she was doing around 20k. But after some fighting in the background, like what you guys don't see on camera is like I saw it, right? I'll see if I can put an instance of it up on camera, just for you guys to see. But to get to that point, most of day one, after figuring out our team, was farming shells and modules to just get them all equipped in the first place, speed tune them correctly, you know? After that, though, I did spend most of the rest of that day and the most of today farming prowess, which was skill ups. That is an important discussion, right? Because while you guys know the team, knowing how to skill up your units properly is going to be important. And I don't know if he talks about it. If he does, I didn't pay attention to that. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but for Leon, I messed up on her. I think like with Leon, skill 2 should take priority. Get her skill 2 up all the way first, because obviously this is on a cooldown. But you also get these crit rate buffs, which that's 12%. Imagine 12% off on my 47% right now. That'd be great. And with the crit rate buff, I'd be guaranteed to crit almost every single time I take a turn. Though I don't necessarily regret this either. But it's just not necessary. It'll be up the same amount of turns as always. But skill 2 takes priority for her, and obviously there's no other SSRs that you need to skill up, so she gets all the latest for now. But once you get her skill 2 and 3 up, I wouldn't worry about skilling her up anymore. Fuck, I mean, even with the skill 2, once you get her skill 2 up, if you don't want to skill her up anymore, I understand. With Gray, we need to talk about just all the SRs. So all the SRs, the purples, there are 3 of them on your team. You have Gray, you have Dina, and you have Sonya, or if you don't have Sonya, you have Dorothy. In order of priority, Gray is the highest priority. Get him skilled up first, then Dina, then your healer if you want to do your healer. If you have Dorothy, I think it is important to have her skilled, at least her skill 3 up, because this is every 4 turns at the moment. Fully skilling this up will have Casket Remedy last 3 turns instead of 2 turns, and it'll have the skill cooldown go from 4 turns to 3 turns. So you'll have Casket Remedy up permanently, which can be a really good thing. And that, I feel like, is necessary. But for me, like, if you choose to have Sonya, it's not super important. We'll talk about Sonya when we get to her. But first, highest priority is Gray. Skill 2 and 3 need to be skilled up all the way. Obviously, you get some nice crit rate off of him. So you can see I'm at 55%. So that's 65% before a crit rate buff. After a crit rate buff, that's 90 or 95%, which is nice. And this is so you can get the cooldown reduced to every 3 turns. And skill 3 obviously gives you a speed buff, which allows him to, it helps him move faster. It becomes easier to speed tune him. But this will be every 3 turns. So you'll get crit rate buff and defense breaks every 3 turns. Dina is just as important, but I say save her for last because this takes it down from every 5 turns to 4 turns, which you're going to want this up pretty often. I mean, an AoE, defense break, vulnerable, and an erosion. Really nice. Really nice. As for my Sonya, if you are going to upgrade Sonya, skill 2 first, because this is her passive healing, which means she's going to be able to heal better and more often. But other than that, we do have number 41. Number 41, I think her skill 3 is the most important. If you want to, you can go into your skill 2. I mean, I have the extra lattices, so I might just go into the skill 2. Plus, it's just like, with all the stuff that you get from skilling up units, like effect resistance, or like for especially for her specifically, or speed, just for upgrading her without the lattices. I mean, to access them, you need to get a couple of the lattices, but still, it's just like, it makes it totally worth it, right? But farming for prowess material took most of my time. While I was farming prowess material, I was doing stuff like Ember Trek and all that, which I'm glad I did. Ember Trek gives a lot of rewards. I'll definitely have to get back into Ember Trek later tonight if I can. I only did like 7, but the rewards are nice. I mean, look at all this that you get here. Jesus, man. XP material, summons, and then you even have a chance to upgrade the rewards that you can get. But these are giving you nice rewards. It's definitely worth jumping into here. Heck, look, lattices. Rank materials, summon. Yeah. Look at that. Totally worth it. But I was trying to dip my toes in everything. Like, even here, like, I was messing with this, but I hadn't continued. So I could probably continue from there. Like, I just didn't have the time. I had work today. But with that being said, oh my gosh. I mean, we've just got done talking about a lot of stuff. We're at where we're at now. You guys get to see where we're at. We're at Nightmare 1. What's next, right? Because we've just hit another roadblock. We're on Nightmare 1, but we can't quite progress. I mean, we've been skilling up all of our units. We have modules on them. We have shells. Some of them, their shells can be upgraded a little bit. Like hers, her shell can get better. All their shells can technically get better. I'll look at the shells I have because I know I have a random shell that I haven't looked at, like this little guy right here, Black Flag. Take a look at him. We'll take a look at him later. It's just like, I'm trying to think about what I can do now that gives me the biggest reward. Because I can keep farming prowess material, and those skill ups can help a tiny bit. I can keep farming shells, and that might help a tiny bit. I can farm NMS XP, and that might help a tiny bit. But I think the most important thing now would be to kind of get back into farming modules and start replacing some of their modules. I mean, a lot of their modules aren't like the craziest. I mean, like, this is okay, but it's not the best. And when you think about like the difference between like even like an epic and a unique, look at the max stat difference. This one is 212, this one's 246. Imagine the difference between this. Like, look at this. An outstanding is 51% crit damage. This one is 39%. I think if I could start changing everyone's to outstanding modules, I'll start to see better results. I'll start to see faster run times. I'll start to see more consistent run times. Not that it's not consistent, but like with the higher nightmare modes, I'd start to see better outcomes, right? And like even this, like look at this. Like even this outstanding thing right here, it doesn't have any of the substats that I really care about. Like for Leon, I want crit rate, I want crit damage, I want attack percent, I want flat attack even, or HP percent just to help with survivability. It's like those are the type of substats that I want. Like this looks alright. This looks alright. This looks This looks alright. This looks better, but it's just like with better modules, they'll do better in every way. They'll survive more, they'll deal more damage. I think we'll get the most out of that, right? I think it's just like, it's almost like a rinse and repeat of, first we farm modules, then shells, then skill ups, and then we just keep kind of going back to the beginning. So back to modules, and then we just keep rinsing and repeating, slowly improving them in every area. But on top of that, other than farming modules, I mean, getting them leveled up, getting them ranked up is going to be the biggest thing right now. I mean, she is max rank, but she's not fully leveled up. He almost is. She almost is. Dina almost is. And just earlier, I got her there. So if I can finish getting them all maxed out, all of them upgraded, I think we'll see the most results from that. So at the moment, modules and ranking up and just finishing the story. Finishing the story, wherever the story finishes off. Which it looks like Mirage of Abyss Part 2 is going to be where it leaves off. Who knows? I guess you guys might know because you guys might be further. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know when the next video is going to be. I'll make the next video when a decent amount of progress has been made. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.